The central focus of my e-unit is plants. One core strategy that this theme lends itself to is making inferences and connections within the text. This strategy is important to help early readers begin to comprehend what they're reading and be able to connect these situations and feelings of the characters with their own. Two of the standards that I chose to focus on were reading closely to determine explicitly what the text says, and citing specific textual evidence, as well as analyzing how and why individuals, events, and ideas develop and interact over the course of a text. Core strategies that I emphasized when I was planning my guided reading lesson plan for this literacy unit were comprehension and vocabulary. Students will also be able to develop skills in writing through the use of descriptive words when looking at images of plants or observing plants outside. In this literacy unit, I included guided reading plans as well as shared reading plans. Guided reading plans would be a whole class instruction with the teacher reading the text and separate activities for the students afterwards or during the reading. And shared reading would be in smaller group situations where students would be able to share and compare and contrast their own ideas with their peers. In my guided reading lesson plan, I specifically focus on vocabulary knowledge. One of the activities that I have students do in this lesson plan is focus on 3 different words, the words vegetables, favorite, and shoots. The first 2 words are probably words that students have known before, but they may not be able to read or spell them. The word shoots is specific to plants, which would teach meaning and words and definition. In addition to my guided reading lesson plan, I also included a shared reading lesson plan. In this lesson plan, I'm able to highlight things such as phonemic awareness. One of the activities I used to teach this was sorting games. This would be working on short and long vowel sounds, 2 things that are very prominent in the book Finding Winnie. Additionally, I was focused on analogizing words. I chose an activity for this as diagraph recognition. Diagraphs are extremely important in this phase of reading for new readers. Diagraph recognition is very important to begin reading different types of words. As you can see, this is a diagraphs chart where the student will be able to focus on most common diagraphs that they'll see in their independent reading books. It's also very important to know your readers in your class when you're planning related literature for a unit like this. This is why I also included 2 different types of books, one called Sion's Tallow and one called Circles of Hope. In these books, they provide different cultural perspectives. In Circles of Hope, Facile, a young boy from Haiti, wants to plant a tree in honor of his sister. He faces hardships when trying to plant the tree, and this author will introduce young readers to realities of rural Haiti. This is a different perspective that students will now be able to learn from through their related literature in this literacy unit. While encompassing your students from different cultural backgrounds is important, it's also important to encompass students of different academic levels. That's why in this balanced literacy unit, I have reading levels ranging from pre-K to 3rd grade, also ranging from difficult material to very simple material. That way students are able to find something within their reading level range and be able to learn amongst their peers. Retelling a story is one language function essential for students to develop and practice in the development of their literacy. In my guided reading lesson plan, one of the activities that I have students do is create a timeline of the most important events in the story. Students will work in pairs and be able to identify the key events and then lay them out in a timeline. Finally, for assessment, students' comprehension is one of the most important things about literacy. This is an ebook that I created called Jen's Plant Party, and it's a very simple book for emergent readers to develop key literacy concepts. Some comprehension questions that I would ask through assessment after going through this book would be, what did Jen want to do, who helped her, and what did Jen buy at the store? Vocabulary from this book as well as the other books can be assessed through spelling bees or spelling quizzes at the end of the week. Finally, an extension activity to bring writing into this emergent literacy project would be a student actually growing their own plant. They would be able to record observations throughout the year and then compare and contrast those observations with their classmates as well as their own throughout the year. Overall, that's my emergent literacy project. It includes guided reading lesson plan, a shared reading lesson plan, emergent literacy book, as well as multiple different related literature that would be appropriate for many different levels and many different students.